Hey everybody, today's tip is for dogs who can be undermotivated by food. Here's an example. My border collie, she loves toys, but sometimes she can be very unmotivated or have zero interest in treats. So I'm going to offer her these treats here, and you can see that I dropped them to the floor and she's uninterested in eating them and looks almost punished by the fact that I gave her such disgusting stuff. So what can you do if this happens to you, or you have a dog that just has more interest in toys rather than food? One thing that you can do with your dog is do a treat test. So get a variety of different treats, some that your dog hasn't had before, and see how interested your dog is in each treat. So the first treat that I gave to Wish, which is this kibble, she shows no interest in eating. So that's not even reinforcement, it's almost a punisher to her. You see, she's hanging her head down low and not looking at me. Now I will try this other type of kibble. So she sniffs it, she crunches it, and she looks back at me. So she found that reinforcing but not amazing. Now this very expensive raw food treat, she swallowed it but doesn't look like amazingly excited, but she's still focused on me. If you give your dog a treat and you're in a non-distracting environment like this room, this is the first kibble that I gave her. She ate it. If you give your dog a treat that they're not very interested in, you'll see that they eat it and they look away from you. So a signal that your dog is interested in the food is that after they've eaten the food, they say to you with their eyes, "More please," and that means that they will look at you or look at the treats. So that's the signal that you're looking for. Now, this last treat is boiled chicken that I made. And I know for a fact that Wish really likes the boiled chicken out of all of these treats. And the reason I know that is because she's the most motivated to eat this chicken. Once you've found a treat that your dog is interested in, I suggest doing a training session just before when your dog is usually fed, and that will make your dog more interested in working for food because he's already ready for his dinner. Now, if you have a dog that's very excited about food, you want to avoid times where your dog might be a little bit hungry. So if you had a dog very excited about food, then you would do the training session maybe after dinner, and obviously not work on very exciting tricks where your dog is moving a lot because they've just eaten their dinner. It can feel very frustrating if your dog isn't very interested in the treats you have or has low motivation while you're training, but there are two things that you want to avoid, and that is using words to encourage your dog over and over again, because what can happen is every time your dog is not motivated, you say those words, soon your dog is going to start associating those words with times that he hasn't been that interested in food. So if your dog is acting really slow and you say, "Come on, come on, come on, come on," that's not going to help speed your dog up. It would help speed your dog up if you said "come on" and then threw a treat, or said "come on" when your dog was excited, at times when your dog was excited, because then that would help speed him up in the training session. But if you start nagging your dog or trying to encourage your dog verbally, it can actually be off-putting and sometimes even punishing to the dog. Another thing that you don't want to do is if your dog's not interested in what you have, pushing it in their face, waving it around to get them interested in it, that can actually have the reverse effect, and it can make the dog not interested in what you have because you're being too pushy with it. It's like if you don't want to eat a piece of food and someone keeps bothering you to try and give it to you when you know you don't want to eat that, it's going to get on your nerves. So instead of doing that, you can build your dog's motivation for treats that they don't seem as interested in by playing hard to get. One thing you can do is put a treat down on the ground and walk away from your dog holding the treats like there's something very exciting, and you're playing keep away from the dog with the treats rather than going into the dog's space with them. So now they're seeming like something that you really want, and you're dropping one and then moving away quickly, guarding these treats up here like there's something amazing. You can even pretend to eat them. Oh, these are so good. Oh my goodness. And you can see here that my acting is really working with Wish. She really wants these treats that she wasn't that interested in earlier. Another thing you can do is throw the treats. So you throw a treat, and you can even click your dog for going for the next treat. And you can add an exciting noise if you want, like ready, steady, whoosh. Awesome. And now you can see that Wish is quite excited for these treats. Hey, Wishy. If your dog is showing low motivation in a training session, I suggest quickly stopping and not trying to work through it, because what you can do is create a habit where your dog sees the training picture as something boring and not really that reinforcing. So when I see that happen in my training session, if suddenly a dog seems disinterested, instead of trying to train something new or maintain an existing behavior, I'm going to go back and figure out what the dog finds reinforcing and start using that as the reinforcer, or just stop the training session and try at a later date when the dog is in a better mood. Hope you enjoyed this tip. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment to show your support. Bye!